You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Welcome to your Hometown News. I'm April Frelke with my co-host, Joe Minnie. We have a big night tonight, Joe.
Yes, hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh, we're a little sad in our house.
It's been a fun week, but...
It's been a great weather week. It's
Yes.
been emotional with the elections.
Yeah, but what?
We have a cat.
You have
we
a
have a
cat?
cat issue. So our cat, Luke's cat of over almost 18, 19 years, just got diagnosed with kidney disease. So she's...
How old is she?
Almost 19. She's almost, and she's a rescue cat. We got her in a live trap years ago when Luke was like
That's still
5,
sad.
6. Yeah, so she's had a great life, and she's in her little pink hospice bed at our house. So we're doing cat care.
Is she going to dialysis or?
No, she's just gonna
Okay.
comfort care, and then we say goodbye. We love you, Grace. Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's get started, and welcome to the program. We have 3 distinguished guests with us this evening. Representative Nancy VanderMeer, Congressional Candidate Derrick Van Orden, and Representative Tony Kurtz. Welcome all of you to the program. Great to have all of you with us this evening. And we're going to start with Nancy.
Yes.
Joe's got your question.
Hi, Nancy. First of all, congratulations on the win. But what do you think of the results of the election itself?
Well, I guess I would speak personally for my district. I was very satisfied. It was about 66% of our electorate that supported me, and that was a record-setting amount for me personally as a candidate. And so I am very excited to go back and, of course, represent our wonderful people throughout our district, our individuals and hardworking families, of course, and then, meeting the challenges, of course, that unexpected challenges a year ago that we didn't realize that we would be facing in our state and our country. So I think I have an incredible team of legislators to go back, get to work, and continue to protecting our most vulnerable, making sure that they're well cared for, and of course having our healthcare providers, like our critical access care providers, well prepared to handle all of those health issues close to home for the constituents that we represent. And that's been, of course, some of my focus in the legislature, and I'm very happy to go on and continue that work when we return.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Well, Derrick Van Orden, you ran an amazing campaign, winning 13 of the 18 counties in your race. Your thoughts moving forward, or maybe plans for the future?
Well, I'm a grandpa, and that's looking pretty good right now, I think. I just want to take a minute to thank the hundreds and hundreds of people that volunteered, thousands and thousands of hours to the campaign. And teams win and leaders fail. So I was unable to pull this through for everybody. So, but I want to thank you. You know, we raised about $1.9 million during this campaign, and that's a significant amount of money. But, you know, money's going to come and go. So I really want to thank people for their time, because they're never going to get that time back. And I'm just very, very humbled for Sarah Jane and I. This was the most humbling experience of our life, and it's due to everybody's incredibly hard work. And I'm so proud to know Nancy and Tony now. And I've made so many different friends that it's actually been a very rewarding experience. Don't get me wrong. I do not like losing. But at the same time, we are a nation of laws. I hope that the rest of the election cycle turns out well enough. We get this voting thing cleared up. I'm anticipating President Trump being reelected, which is fantastic for the nation. And now we're just going to have a little time with the family now.
Okay, so you have a lot to look forward to.
You bet.
Well, and Tony Kurtz, congratulations on your win. And what are your thoughts regarding this next legislation session coming up for you? And what are you going to be focusing on?
Well, a lot of the same things that Nancy just talked about. Obviously, front and center, we got to make sure we take care of our most vulnerables, our critical access hospitals, our nursing homes. And I think that's one of the focuses of the Assembly moving forward, is to make sure that we shore up those resources, that the most vulnerable, that our population obviously get through this COVID crisis, but also, you know, our small mainstream businesses. We got to make sure that they're going to remain intact because, Nancy and I and so many of the areas that Derrick have been to over the last 6 months, these small towns, when we lose a business or we lose a farm, we don't get them back. So we got to make sure that we do everything we possibly can to make sure that they're going to be there when we get past this COVID, because we will get past this crisis. Our healthcare teams are doing a fantastic job. We got just take one day at a time, but we will get through this. And I think that's my focus. I know I don't want to speak for Nancy, but I'm pretty sure that, with her, healthcare and the importance of what we both sit on the health committee, that's something that I sure hope I'm honored to sit on again with Nancy, because, it's front and center, particularly in rural areas, to make sure that we keep that good quality healthcare in our area.
Well, I have a general question, and anyone can answer this, but on the election night, when their votes are being cast and then they decide to start counting and releasing numbers, what are you guys doing? Are you with your team, or are you just watching the news like we are? Or do you have like a hotline that's telling you what the current vote is?
Well, I can just speak for me. We're looking at all the county clerks, and we have people that are calling, the different clerks and the county clerks, and asking for vote totals and things like that. Now, Derrick, I couldn't imagine. Well, having done an 18 county race before back in the day, yeah. Derrick did a fantastic job. So it's a little different for him for the congressional race. So maybe Derrick would want to share some things there.
Well, we set up a war room. Interestingly enough, so we had about 6 people tracking from all around the entire district and doing live updates as they came in. And it was really interesting, having done, Navy SEAL mission tracking before. It's sort of like that, but you no longer get a vote in this thing. So it was nice. Yeah, the staff did an outstanding job, and we decided to do our thing up in Eau Claire to kind of highlight that portion in the district. La Crosse gets a lot of attention, but so. Yeah, that's it. We just war roomed it up and sat around, and I got to walk around and talk to about the 300 people that came up and just thank them for all their efforts.
Okay.
And any comments or thoughts for our constituents, or what can they see, maybe expect from you in the next coming months? Anything related to COVID, or any updates you want to give our viewers before we close out?
I think one of the most important things to highlight is our biennium budget that will be coming up, of course. And this will be quite a different experience because Wisconsin had a very robust economy, of course, prior to the pandemic. And so we have to take those good lessons that we learned and try our best to apply them to have a very reasonable budget going forward, and making sure that our taxpayers, and still reaching out and providing those important services across our state to everyone as well.
Okay, great. Well, I want to thank each and every one of you to joining us here tonight, and congratulations. And moving forward, we're looking forward to seeing you maybe once again in another campaign. How about that? Well, the catering for the cast and crew has been provided by Marco's Italian and Italian and American Grill, not Mexican, and Warren's. And it's great food and fun in a relaxing atmosphere at Marco's. Up next, we have Basket Bingo Palooza at the Tomah ACT. Stay tuned.
But Hometown News is brought to you by Oakdale Credit Union, Moulter's Fresh Market in Tomah, Hardware Hank in New Lisbon, The Fun Company Game Room Store, The Little Cottage Home Decor and more in New Lisbon, and Easier Living Consultants in Camp Douglas.
Moulter's family-owned store brings you fresh. Feel healthy with a wide selection of organic foods, gluten-free products, certified Black Angus beef, and handmade brats. Moulter's has a great selection of meats, so choosing can be tough. Just ask our butcher to help you make the perfect selection. Moulter's brings you fresh-packed deli meals for those on the go. And of course, our fresh market. Download our mobile app and start saving money today. Moulter's brings you fresh. Hardware Hank knows you have projects, lots of important projects, from paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
My name is Katie Shute, and I have lived in the Tomah area all my life. I had knee replacement and needed to be in a wheelchair for a while. So when I needed my wheelchair ramp, I thought of Easier Living Consultants right away. The whole thing was done within a couple of days. I would definitely recommend Easier Living Consultants for any project you have. It met up to my expectations and even exceeded them.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
Relax at Marco's Italian and American Grill in Warrens, Wisconsin.
You're watching
Connecting you to the community.
Area Community Theater is hosting another Basket Bingo Palooza, and we have with us none other than Dr. Bridget Owens in studio to explain how it will work, and she is supporting the Packers.
Go Pack!
Go Pack!
Welcome.
We're playing right here in a little bit.
Yep.
So Bridget,
yes,
I know what bingo is, but what is Basket Bingo Palooza?
Okay, it's like none other. So the way we do it is I start out with 10 sponsors, and I approach local businesses, and they pay a sponsorship fee, and they donate a basket. So we play 10 games, and whatever game you win, let's just say I'm one of the sponsors this time, and let's say I sponsor game number 4, so I have this very cool basket. And when you win that particular bingo game, you win the basket that that local business donated. And it's been kind of fun because over the years that we've been doing this, we've done quite a few. I don't know, some of these sponsors, they all try to kind of, outdo each other. So the baskets are pretty sweet.
It's starting to one-up each other.
Yeah, we got some cool ones.
Dr. Owens, for some of us that haven't been to it's just not a What is a basket?
It's a prize basket.
So there's stuff in it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Chock full of
now, we did have, like, one of our sponsors, she brought a really cool box that has, like, wine and coffee and candy, and then a $75 gift certificate to Murray's on Main. Hello.
Okay.
I know, it's a nice basket.
So you're winning these big raffle baskets, kind of.
Yes.
But it's not a raffle. You just win it if you
Correct.
Get
if you win that particular bingo game.
Through bingo, yes.
Yes.
And so can you give us some other prizes, maybe?
Well, yes. Great Auto Sales in Sparta. They are return sponsors. They've sponsored quite a few different times. They donated a $270 car detail, along with all the other cool stuff that's in the basket. Hello, yeah. Dawn's Plumbing, they delivered their basket to me today. All kinds of neat stuff in the basket. And then I saw there was a gift certificate for a $99 furnace cleaning service. Let me see. I had it all written down on a piece of paper, but I just had a few drop them off.
Dr. Owens, with COVID right now happening-ish, I guess, what's the limit?
It's going to be different.
Okay,
it's going to be different.
What's the difference this year?
Yeah. Right, because normally we're all packed into they have 2 really nice rooms. And so what we're going to do this time, so to be in compliance, is we're going to have both rooms going. One of the rooms I'm going to be set up, and I'll be doing my little bingo thing with the little round squirrely deal. And we're going to have tables set up, spaced out. Because what you're going to do is people have called in ahead of time and they've reserved their tables. So they're going to show up with their pod of friends or family, and that's who they're going to sit with for the bingo event.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll be right there. And we'll have people coming around and getting your drink orders and that sort of a thing, so people aren't, like, milling around together. And face masks are required.
Sounds like school.
Pretty much.
Sit in your pod, no mingling,
exactly.
mask on.
You know, I'm learning all these terms.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
We got a minute left. Can we jump to details? Cost, time, date, all
yes.
that. Okay.
The date, November 14th, starts at 7 p.m. Get there like around 6:30. It's $20 for a card, or it's $50 for 3 cards. And it's a great fundraiser for the area community theater, and they really need it because they're a nonprofit. And in this time, right now,
the shows right now.
yes, they're not doing any shows right now, so they really need support. And all the proceeds are going to go to towards Mike Larkin's memorial, because we really want to get a star up for him.
Yes.
Which all that's going to the theater. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And should they RSVP first? Definitely.
Well, actually, people have reserved their tables.
So it's getting tight.
Yeah.
So if you want in.
Yeah.
So no walk-ins?
You
I
can,
want like
but
that
you
too,
gotta
like-
wait.
Okay.
You gotta wait and see if a table's available if somebody didn't show up.
Okay.
So
thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, up next, we'll have encouraging thoughts. Stay tuned.
I'm Dr. Rob Hulbert. I work here at the Warrens Clinic, and I do family practice here at the Warrens Clinic.
Warrens Clinic is conveniently located off Interstate 94 at Warrens and is now offering same-day or next-day appointments. Patients will receive exceptional care for minor illnesses and injuries from our expert staff.
We handle a large variety of different medical conditions here at the clinic, everything from laceration repair to pneumonia or breathing difficulties and other illnesses.
Learn more at tomahealth.org.
This hot tub is so relaxing. The stress of the week just melts away.
Hanging out with friends is fun.
And we have so many reasons to get together.
My Traeger grill is the difference between a good
And an amazing barbecue.
The Fun Company Game Room Store
Is where the fun begins.
Moulter's family-owned store brings you fresh. Feel healthy with a wide selection of organic foods, gluten-free products, certified black Angus beef, and handmade brats. Moulter's has a great selection of meats, so choosing can be tough. Just ask our butcher to help you make the perfect selection. Moulter's brings you fresh-packed deli meals for those on the go. And of course, our fresh market. Download our mobile app and start saving money today. Moulter's brings you fresh.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
On this episode of Encouraging Thoughts, Joe and I are going to focus on election results. Just kidding. Well, mostly the election and how you might feel about it and dealing with the results in a positive way, how we can encourage each other. How are you feeling, Joe?
Well, it's kind of like we're in the lurch right now, but a lot of the local elections are over, and we know what we're doing going forward for Wisconsin. Wisconsin's vote is in, and it looks like there's going to be a recount. So we're still on pins and needles.
So we don't know. So I was thinking, what do we talk about? How do we encourage each other? And at school today, I noticed outside of one of our teachers' rooms, Mr. Stoutinger's science, he had these encouraging magnets. So I asked him if I could borrow them. And one of them is a negative situation with a positive outcome. Okay?
Okay.
So the first one is, I'll let you read it, is that
this is too hard.
This election stuff is really hard, isn't it?
It is too hard.
So here, and then with that is the positive.
So this is a negative look.
Yes.
And this may take some time. So it's a positive spin on that.
Right, and then it's kind of like a puzzle.
It's like a puzzle piece.
It's kind of like that. You have the choice. You can choose how you react. It's kind of sometimes out of our control. We voted.
Yeah. So instead of saying it's like it's like, well, something positive can come out of this.
Right. Okay. So the next one is, this is a negative. I'll let you read that one.
I made a mistake. Ugh.
Yeah, right? I made a mistake. I'll never, kind of like poor me.
Yeah.
And so here's the positive side.
Well, mistakes help me to learn. Yep.
Yeah. Isn't that a great spin on that?
Yes.
Because we're all human.
Yep.
Nothing's going to always go our way.
I've always heard the saying, it's like you either win or you learn. And I think we brought that up.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
So really that's kind of learning.
Yes.
And, you know, there's winners and losers. But like Derrick Van Orden said, he's learned so much.
Oh, yeah.
Met so many people. And sometimes out of those meetings with people, he might have an opportunity to go work in somewhere in the legislative offices on some committee, knowing that he's so involved. Or maybe he'll get on the county board of supervisors and run for something like that.
Which is run again.
Yeah, run again. Okay. So.
What's next?
No, this is the negative. Yep, that one is the negative.
I give up.
Yeah, and some people might feel like that right now, just giving up and.
Yeah, just cash in and say, I'm done.
I don't want to know. So.
But I'll use a different strategy. Yeah. So if at first you don't succeed, try something else.
And sometimes you maybe have done something and a strategy worked, and then you think of that and go, wait, like, so I just give up. So let's just say someone's working on an exercise program and the things are going really well and COVID hits, right? We can't get into our gym. We can't, but you could use a different strategy. Go outside for walks.
Well, that's even if you even if you have a setback on the scale. You just, you know what, get back on it and keep going.
Each day is another opportunity.
Another opportunity, yes.
To get your strategies going. So, we encourage everyone to maybe have an open mind.
Yep.
Have an open heart, be kind to each other. And
I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, after all this election, it's still us as a nation just doing what we do every day, and we're just coexisting. It's like, I mean, it looks like the vote is pretty much split 50-50, so half the people in every room is somebody else, you know? I mean, statistically. So
yeah, that's so true, Joe.
So it's like we live and work with everybody, so why not be united?
We both could have different opinions, but we still have to do TV, and boy, if we were fighting, that wouldn't be any fun, would it?
It would make good TV, apparently.
Might. A lot of drama, right, Joe? Well, Nick is back with us with Moments in History. Stay tuned.
What's the more in the little cottage home decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the little cottage. Update your look and discover more at the Little Cottage Home Decor and More, New Lisbon.
Moulter's family-owned store brings you fresh. Feel healthy with a wide selection of organic foods, gluten-free products, certified black Angus beef, and handmade brats. Moulter's has a great selection of meats, so choosing can be tough. Just ask our butcher to help you make the perfect selection. Moulter's brings you fresh-packed deli meals for those on the go. And of course, our fresh market. Download our mobile app and start saving money today. Moulter's brings you fresh.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
Hardware Hank knows you have projects, lots of important projects, from paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
You are watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to your community.
Today in history, this day in history, here we are. What do a mask, a failed terror attack, and the Pope have in common? Well, if you answered the British observation of Guy Fawkes Day, you would have won the prize for historical trivia. Let's take a look at this strange celebration that is over 400 years old. Now, you've probably seen the Guy Fawkes mask as a popular symbol of protest against all sorts of political activities these days. You may have even noticed some rioters in Seattle this past summer with a Guy Fawkes mask. Well, celebrated every year on November 5th, okay, this day commemorates, or memorizes if you want, keeps in memory, the failed attempt to blow up the British Parliament and kill the king, okay, way back in 1609. Blow up Parliament, kill the king. Okay, it's also known as the gunpowder plot, and a protester named Guy Fawkes was found lurking among 36 barrels of gunpowder in the cellar of the Parliament building. He was summarily arrested, and after torture, Fawkes revealed that he was part of a conspiracy of pro-Catholic activists aiming to wipe out the Protestant government headed by King James I of King James Version fame, and replace it with his 7-year-old daughter, Elizabeth Stuart, who happened to have been a Catholic. Well, King James allowed the citizens to light barn fires and celebrate not only this discovery of these hoodlums, but the triumph of, again, Protestantism over Catholicism in this failed attempt to overthrow the government. The anti-Catholic sentiment of the event kept the celebration alive for years. Well, today, Guy Fawkes Day continues to be celebrated with costumes and parades and fireworks and bonfires, and they burn effigies of Guy Fawkes and using modern-day masks as a caricature, as the mask that we might have shown you in here earlier. The anti-Catholic sentiments have all been lost and replaced by, what would you guess, anti-government expressions. Seen as both a villain to some and a hero as others, Guy Fawkes Day remains a popular day of observation, actually around the world. Now, here's an interesting footnote of the story, is that George Washington had to deal with Guy Fawkes Day back in 1775. With his troops having British roots, they were all familiar with this anti-Catholic holiday celebration. It actually had been morphed into now being known as Pope's Day, whereby the Pope was burned in effigy in place of Guy Fawkes. Washington would have none of it. He put out a stern warning to his officers and soldiers to stop that practice and respect the religion of other troops. Insulting a religion is monstrous and not to be suffered or excused, he said. And with the Canadians helping out with the war, the Revolutionary War effort, Washington couldn't afford for them to be offended, given that most of them were French Catholics. So there you are, okay? A rather lengthy story, but we figure that Washington himself could have been the reason why we don't have Guy Fawkes Day at all in this country anymore. And so there you have it. That's your day in history. And what do you think, dear guys? April? Joe?
I just love it. I think that's a great moment in history. Yeah.
I'll tell you, they've got poems that came out back in the 1870s, and they've got all kinds of surrounding folk stuff that goes along with that. They got the verse.
Isn't there a poem?
Yeah, there's a poem, but there's a really good movie that came out, I want to say it's about 10 years now, but V for Vendetta is very hinged on that Guy Fawkes motif.
Well, actually, Joe, the V for Vendetta in 2005, I think it was, yes, the use of the caricature of Guy Fawkes in that movie is what, in fact, has been picked up as the mask of today. And the theme of that movie was again, it was a fictional movie wherein the Great Britain became fascist, and there was an uprising against the fascism. And again, people wore the mask. Okay, and in imitation of this much older holiday. Well,
Nick, it's so great to have you with us. We're going to have to wrap it up, but we'll be excited for some Thanksgiving moments in history maybe coming up with you.
Hey, I can do that.
Yep, thanks for joining us all the way from Tennessee, Nick. And we want to thank everybody for joining us, where we're connecting you to the community.